You're focusing on certain positions.
Yes.
When it comes to goal scorers and goalkeepers, you would find stars.
Exactly. That's
stars.
right. That's right.
Okay.
But there is still weak point in the defender itself.
Yeah.
The defender, as usual in Latin America, actually this is a difference between the football in Germany or in Italy. But for example, they're making a lot of achievement because they have a good defenders, they have a good plan, and maybe they're scoreless, they're less talented.
Yeah.
As you just mentioned, they're playing like it's hobby in a professional way.
Yeah.
And let's make it enjoyable. Actually, I enjoyed it because it's a kind of the taste of the football. Sometimes they're watching Germany. Yes, personally, I love their achievement, but I don't like the way they play football because it's like machines. It's like they know what they're doing, they score goal. But there is another actually passion. And there is another, I can say, taste of the football. You can find it in Copa America. Copa America, I can say it's, from my opinion, it's a real taste of football. Because even before the maybe World Cup and all that, but this is the kind of the people working with the passion, even the fans, if you can see
Amen
them.
to that.
Yeah.
I would, if for example, Uruguay, this team of Uruguay, the national team, were wearing the shoes of Bayern Munich, knowing well that they have taken the Bundesliga, they are not going to be defeated for 4 or 5 matches, consecutive ones, because they had in mind that they won their title.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
If you got what I mean. Regarding the final, Chile and Argentina.
Yeah.
For me, it was very much strange or weird to all the time find the Argentinians in the very same position, because it was, I think, a déjà vu a way or another with what happened between Germany and Argentina last year, and it was the extra time, and this time it was the penalty shootouts, and it was the tears of Lionel Messi. A déjà vu.
Yes.
Expected?
For me, expected, because Argentina, while they should have the passion and the objective to achieve that, I can say the other team is Chile, which is more interested to make the game win. The fans, the environment, and everything, they're very keen to achieve it. Football, at the end of the day, while we are talking about technology and planning and everything, there is a kind of fight inside the ground itself. This is very important, though. I don't see it 100% in Argentina. Lionel Messi, I have a big comment here, or important comment, because Lionel Messi, at the end of the day, leaders, the people can achieve till the end. People can guide the team. This is the leader in the team itself. Yes, he go to the final every time, but there is a quick remark what they are not achieving. This is very important time. The people or the leaders, the people can appear in the critical time, before the penalties, how they concentrate.
You know, Mohammed, I feel that this is one of the side effects of being a pro. Meaning, when you are a pro, you would achieve better with the team you are a professional with. But with your national team, when you are going to turn back or to go into a special camp and to have this harmony between you and the other players whom you do not play with except for 2 or 3 times a year. So, is this one of the side effects or the demerits of being a pro?
That's true. And there is a very important comment here came from Arsene Wenger, who's saying that if they asked him if you'd like to select between Messi and Ronaldo, he told them, I'll not select Messi because Messi only can score with Barcelona. And actually, in this tournament, I didn't see him, or in this cup, I didn't see him, even they're considering him the superstar, I didn't see him the superstar of it, seriously. Because
this was my coming question. Is it his fault, or the coach's fault, or the timing's fault?
I can consider it's his fault. As a mature leader, and you consider as a best player, you can consider, I'll give you just an African example. There is a player who's playing in Africa called George Weah. This person who's playing, he's an international player, and then when he returned back to his national, he's the person creating the passion, he's the person, you remember his match against Egypt. He scored a goal and he returned back as a defender. He told them one day, I can be a goalkeeper. This is actually the leadership in the character itself. The person can adapt, can understand, and can make a team effort together, can create the environment. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't return back to your nation or your national team as a king and those people are just playing for me. Or I have a different story.
No, it's a teamwork.
Exactly.
Of course it's a teamwork.
Exactly, yeah.
And because of this, I was asking, whose fault is this?
I can consider
it's a teamwork.
It's part of him, because at the end of the day, when you are talking about responsibility, the higher responsibility in the, I can say, the star, the person who can make the king.
Those are the Chileans who were And they deserve it.
They deserve it, yeah.
They deserve it.
They deserve it, yeah.
But of course, nothing would justify the killing of 3 people during the celebrations, and nothing would justify what happened to Lionel Messi's family,
yes,
who were there in the standings watching, because what happened has nothing to do with the sports or the sports spirits.
Yes. Actually, those countries, and let's have a different spirit. It's totally different world. If we're talking about Asia, US, and Latin America, and Africa, Middle East, they have their natural. By the way, their natural is somehow close. They have very hot emotions. They can get sad, upset. They celebrate to the extreme. Such a type of nation, it's somehow close to. I don't like to say to the Arab countries, but somehow they have a kind of. As you can see, the celebration.
No, by the way, we do have the Algerians.
Yeah.
Our brothers there
yes,
are all the time doing things like that.
Yes.
And despite the fact that we were all proud and happy with the Algerians' performance, the Foxes of the Desert, or the Greens there in Brasilia 2014, and with the names even, now we learned by heart, Raïs Mboulhi, Fighouli, Soudani, a lot of names in fact. But when you know that celebrating, reaching around 16 for instance, claimed the lives of 12 of the Algerians? No, I don't want to play.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to play at all.
But I guess you have an interesting comment in this video. If you can see, those people, the football is a part of their lives. It's not like Europeans, they have their work, and they consider football as this is my interest, this is my hobby, this is the team. But those people, it's part of the life itself. Somehow it's different. And when we return back, the people 3 killed. Actually, I was searching and trying to discover exactly the reason. I got it right because the people get stuck between the people. It's not about fighting together. This is what I understand. It's kind of, I understand that there is no reason of people killed because of any type of sport, especially football. But when you go in detail, it's not that organized countries like in Europe and US where everything is structured. It's just but it's different in Algeria because the people, like, they're fighting and all that, they get killed there. But it's extremely nice, I can say, tournament or cup. I like it, and I like the way the people perform and the spirit on it. I can consider it one of most enjoyable cups compared with other, actually.
Let's return back to Messi and to Argentina, because I like to quote this. And this is one of the press conferences they had after one of the matches. Argentina frets over Messi's future. I'd like to quote this to have your comment on that. Argentina is gripped by a debate over Lionel Messi, who was devastated by losing the Copa America final and has withdrawn into a shocked isolation. Some observers in his home country say criticism fired at Messi could force him to take a break from national duty.
I don't think to this level, because at the end of the day, he's trying to achieve. But the expectation from Messi in Argentina is much higher. You know what's the main problem for Messi? When you reach the final in I can say, one of the most important cups in the world. The problem now for Messi, and he still having time to play with his national team, that the curve will be dropped down for Argentina. If he's mature enough, if he's a real, I can say, leader, he should return it back. I'm not expecting Argentina in the next tournaments or cups to return back to final.
What was, for me, considered a little bit weird, that all this criticism went to just pour on the players, and especially, or topping the list, Messi. But where is Gerardo Martinez?
That's true, but at the end of the day...
He's the head coach. Yeah. At the end of the day, he's the head coach.
But their point of view is different. Their point of view is that while we have a talent in the ground, they should achieve. It's the same concept. And they're saying that the people in the ground, or the players, they didn't do the extra effort to achieve that. This is their point of view. It's not only about... I can agree that the coach is the person motivates them and encourages them and put the strategy for the play itself. But from the fans' point of view, those people can achieve in that. And I can agree to somehow Messi, because I didn't see I didn't see a real achievement in this tournament or the cup in this one. I didn't see him actually one of the best players. My opinion that it should go to maybe another player, but not in Messi. This is actually was my main concern. But at the end of the day, the media is playing a role, the sponsor is playing a role, and at the end of the day, they need to have a trademark, and they have a player that the people attach to him to give to him. But for my opinion, he will face a real challenge after that, because he reached the top, but he didn't achieve. It's not easy to be in the top again and to reach the final. And if he reached it, he should win the final. And this is a big question mark, because at the end of the day, no one remembers number 2. In the World Cup, we can say Germany.
No one remember number 2, but I think that in this in specific, people would remember number 2, because this is the FIFA World Rankings published on
number 1, yeah.
On Thursday, and number 1, they became Argentina, despite the defeat in front of Chile of Copa America. They came on top of the FIFA ranking for, I think, for the very first time. And I'm going to tell you this ranking. First,
Egypt, I think 55, I think.
Argentina, 55, yeah. No, I mean the first 10.
Okay.
Argentina, number 1. Germany, number 2. And because of this, I think that we're going to remember number 2 with the squad of Germany. Number 3, Belgium, and also Belgium to occupy the 3rd position in the FIFA ranking. I think this is also a big achievement by Belgium.
Yes, that's true.
Number
very
4,
small country.
Colombia. Number 5, Netherlands. Number 6, Brazil. 7, Portugal. 8, Romania. 9, England. 10, Wales. Meaning that we do have Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, only those 3 from Latin America.
But 3 is a good number. 3 is 30% from the population. It's a very good number. But the one interesting is Belgium itself.
Yeah.
Because Belgium, it's a very small country inside Europe, but the people there is consider football as a part of the life itself, and their aim is World Cup. Usually they're saying that. I was there and before the World Cup, and they're saying that we will achieve World Cup. They have such type of passion for it. They rank it 3. But at the end of the day, this is a monthly report. But when you're talking about the record and the books,
it gives a push.
Sure.
It gives a push.
Sure. But
yeah.
I'm not expecting, we will meet again. I'm not expecting Argentina to be this, I can say, after 2 months for coming 6 months. And I'm expecting Brazil to jump up.
Yeah.
Because what I go through the details about it, they're making, I can say, a real change. Because people in Brazil, they feel like crazy. They're not accepting that. This is part of their life. And there is something that's very interesting. If you'd like to keep your seat in Brazil, like a president or something, you should keep the people happy with the football itself. That means I can say the politicians there are taking care of this, that we will move Brazil again, and they're searching for a talent again. They're making a lot of changes. That means maybe in December, if we discuss this, you'll find it's totally different. And Argentina reached the top, and they didn't win. And it's very shameful, actually, if we reach it. But in the ranking, yes, it's number 1, because you know the way they make this, it's kind of point and wait for that they achieve. It could be number 1. And great that Germany is still number 2, while they didn't go in those kind of cups or tournaments. Yes, interesting.
Whenever you are talking about the team which was crowned with the World Cup, it's normal.
Yes. I hope to see Egypt in the top 10 soon, yeah? Who knows? we reached number 9 before.
Yeah.
I remember,
Yeah. Once upon a time.
Yes.
As we are celebrating Eid, we do have surprises here. And we do have such an Egyptian face to say congratulations or happy Eid to all our dear viewers. Omar Samra, this one who was keen to have the Egyptian flag and to put it on the highest mountains all over the globe. Let's live with Omar Samra for the coming few minutes, and we are going to be back with more in the score sheet.
My name is Omar Samra. I specialize in turning myself heavy objects to fun and cold places.
On the 17th of May 2007, Omar Samra became the first Egyptian and youngest Arab to summit the Earth's highest mountain.
So when I was younger, from the year 2000 until 2007, I lived in London. I was working there, and of course, I spent around 7 Ramadans abroad. That was actually quite challenging because where I used to work in the financial center, there was when it was time to break our fast, there was no options of places to eat because most of the places were serving lunch, and then at around like 6, 7, 8 p.m. places are closed, or what is left is just the leftovers. So it was actually quite challenging that way, and also because in London sometimes the sun sets very late in the day as well. But we're a small community of people that were fasting in that area, so we got to know each other very well. Even though we worked in different companies and different banks, somehow we found each other, and we would meet together, and either we would go a little bit, had to go a little bit further to find the place where you can serve us a hot meal or bring food with us, and we would take turns who makes the food for that day and so on. Eid for the past maybe 6 years has been, I've spent most Eids abroad actually in the last 6 years, just because for my work, Eid is obviously, because it's a holiday, it's a great chance for people to travel, and so I'm always actually working during Eid. But because I love my work, and it's now it's my passion and my work are very closely interlinked. So for example, next Eid, I plan to go to Peru, that's in South America. I'm taking a group of around 10 people with me on an adventure. And in the next Eid, in September, we're going to Sri Lanka actually, and we're doing another adventure there. So it's nice to be able to be on these trips to and take people that sometimes are not even exposed to travel, and they've never done these kind of experiences before, and get to actually witness the entire journey, from them not knowing that experience to getting exposed to it to the first time, and how like they take in all the experience, and how they change actually. So by the time they end the experience, something in them has changed. Like they've seen something that they've never seen before, not only outside in the world, but they've seen something inside them that they've never seen before. Because they've managed to do certain things that they never thought they would do, or see certain things, or talk to certain people that they never thought they would be exposed to, and that changes something inside you. And I think, as far as religion is concerned, regardless about what religion or whatever, I think it encourages to explore, to get to know more about the world, to get to know more about ourselves. And I think traveling, if it's done in the right way, helps us achieve that. So you can combine having fun with something that's also, good for your own personal growth as well. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. عيد سعيد عليكم كلكم إن شاء الله بالسفر الكتير والمغامرات.
كوكب الأرض كله بيلف تحت رجليا دلوقتي. وصلت الحمد لله، خلصت الجراند سلام، رحلة دامت أكتر من 20 سنة. إيفرست 2007، وبعدها القمم السبعة كلها، والقطب الجنوبي، ودلوقتي القطب الشمالي.
Yeah, welcome back. This was Omar Samra. Samra, thank you very much for what you have done and for taking the Egyptian flag to all over the world and to be on the highest mountain on earth. Let's go back to our dear guest live here in the studio, Mr. Mohammed Misbah, and it's time for Blatter.
Yes.
Blatter. Should I ask?
No, actually, it's very clear. It's very clear what's going on in Blatter. Yeah. It's now it's the time for the people who are doing wrong things, I can say, to be in the right place. I'm not sure if they will be in the right place or not, but what's happened recently, actually, if you go in details, people talking usually about Qatar and World Cup of Qatar. The source of the story is not Qatar.
Sure.
Source of the story is South Africa itself. Because what's happened, the details of the story is that first is New York Times, they have a kind of article or report that there's a kind of corruption. And the early stages, Blatter and Blatter team, they're saying nothing happened because the media. Again, US is controlling everything. I'm sorry to say that. Even the football nowadays, yes, it's even the football, because US is not happy on what's going on in FIFA and in Blatter mainly. New York Times, as a magazine, is very close to FBI. And sometimes FBI give the news or the media a kind of news, and sometimes they take from them. It's kind of win-win situation. They share what they would like to share, and they get what they would like to get from them. It's not only in football, in everything. And after they saying that there is nothing wrong, we are clean, after that, the media in UK, they start to publish an evidence against them.
Yeah.
Corruption is included Africa, because one of the names.
Before going into these details, if you permit me, let's simplify the situation for our viewers.
Yes.
A wave of corruption scandals hit FIFA. 7 of the main executives of FIFA were seized, were captured by the police in Zurich for the corruption scandal just a few days before the 29th of May presidential elections. Sepp Blatter in front of Ali ibn al-Hussein, the Jordanian prince. Okay, it was for the best interest of Blatter, and Blatter became, for the 5th consecutive period or term, the president of the governing body of football. Yet after only 4 or 5 days, he decided to resign, and he said that in December or in January maximum, there is going to be elections once again, and they are going to choose another president for FIFA. But starting this moment, you would find evidences, as you've kindly mentioned, from Africa, from Asia, from the confederations, and from the federations.
That's true.
I mean the continental federations and the federations inside many countries. And when it comes to the evidences, as you've said, and to capturing many of the executives themselves, and many of them even confessed that they received a bribery. Why Blatter is immune?
Because Blatter, I don't like to say that, but he's smart in doing the things wrong. I'm sorry to say that. That, you know, you do the wrong thing and you have a clean hands. Till this moment, we don't have an evidence against Blatter. They have one witnesses, but witness at the end of the day without evidence will not support the case against him. And they're trying to keep him safe when they go to the court itself to make his statement against Blatter. This is the only thing against him. And at the end of the day...
And he is very smart and very clever in blaming the others. Yes. I'd like to quote him here.
True. That's what
For instance, this article by Blatter was published on the 9th of July. FIFA President Sepp Blatter has told a Swiss newspaper that continental confederations, rather than soccer's world governing body, were to blame for the corruption scandal engulfing the game.
That's true.
Rather than him.
Yeah, that's true. He's saying, because very simple, he's a guy, now he's in the position, he can say there is no corruption. But he's saying there is a corruption, and he mentioned that, by the way, in his speech in the resignation. He didn't say corruption, but he says things need to be corrected or something like that. But he can say that I'm a part of the corruption. He's saying there's the people working under my umbrella who's involved in the corruption, but not me. And while he's sure that I can't say he's sure, because the technology is playing a very important role nowadays in gathering information. There's a voice record against Ismail from Botswana, as I remember, and there is a paper of transfer of $10 million. When there is an evidence, the case is different. But from his opinion, there is no evidence against me, and this makes me, yes, my team is doing things wrong, but I'm clean. This is his point of view. Till this moment, I don't know the level of information, and no one knows with FBI, because the person, or the, I can say, institution who started the investigation is FBI. They found the support from Switzerland, and which is something is very unique, because usually Switzerland, they're not engaged with FBI in such things. They're saying, we have, and this is the part he's playing. This is his origin, and this is his country, and they have a kind of security in the laws there to protect, I can say, the person doing something wrong, except if it's inside the country itself. All those stories makes him, as you can see now, the video, this is his character.
Yeah.
He's a sneaky guy. He can go to African to dance with them. He can go to US to...
This was my coming question, since he's blaming the continental confederations, meaning that we can witness in the coming period a struggle between Blatter and Issa Hayatou, for instance?
This is I can say it's chain.
Yeah.
The corruption is a chain. What's going on in the FIFA would be repeated in Africa and going even to the local countries. He's smart in saying that. And this is, I don't like to say or mention that, but I guess it will be a big issue if they open the topic. We have two scenarios at this situation. First, open all the topics and he will be in trouble because there is a lot of evidence will be appeared and there will check will happen and review. Because Moroccan file was an ideal file. For a safety, security, weather, government support, location, everything. And
what file?
Moroccan file.
Morocco. Okay.
Yeah, Moroccan file in 2000 is an ideal file. Against South Africa, there is a lot of concern about security, location, weather, government support, discrimination, black and white issues.
And I think this would be applied also to Qatar.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Why
true.
Issa bin Hammam was banned from any football activity?
Yes, from this time, yeah, because they give him the reward for that.
And Chuck Blazer, the same story, the same scenario implemented on him, and because of this, I was asking this question: why Blatter is immune?
Because I can say you're dealing with not an easy guy. He's a person you can. He's making a lot of arrangement for that. He's making a lot of, I can say, win-win situations with countries, with sponsors, and we'll come to this part, with even sometimes with the players, who's winning the cups and all that. He's not an easy guy. He's a person who have a lot of hands, but he's very smart that he's not doing anything.
He's very smart, or also due to his experience in FIFA, as he spent 40 years of his life in FIFA. Of course, not for 40 years as the head of the governing body, but in FIFA as a high-ranking official till he reached this point of being the head on the top. I mean.
Yes, but during this period, and we're talking about relations with government, phone calls, and all that, he's a person who's keen to make it in corruption in a smart way, which is not easy to catch, especially in a country in Switzerland. The most interesting part you mentioned about Platini, people thinking that Platini is the coming guy for the seat or for president seat. Actually, there is a two-person who will fight against him. The guy who's heading the I guess Holland or Netherlands and Chile as well. Both are interested in the seat itself. I can say it's a stages. After we finish Platter's stage, we'll go to who's the president. There's a lot of surprises and there is again a lot of arrangement and agreement to take the seat. Platini is close to the seat, but we can't be sure of that. We can't say that he's the next president. As you mentioned, sponsors are playing a very important role.
Yeah.
Sponsors are playing a very important role.
Such a role.
Yes.
And whenever they are backing a special name, this name is going to be a heavyweight name. But before going into these details and how the sponsors can play an important role, about Prince Ali ibn al-Hussein, do you think that he should go into this story once again, or...
my opinion is this.
I can see it on your face.
My opinion that he should be, there is a kind of, again, it's win-win situation. He should be an interesting game. I will have an exactive seat in FIFA and support maybe Platini, and I'll give you a kind of number of votes. By this way, he will enter, I can say, to the room itself, to the kitchen. Then he can be a president after that. He can jump in a president seat easily. Don't forget that Platini have a lot of support from a lot of people. Politics may play a role here. Yes, politics in everything, even in the organization, football, offices, corporate, everything. And there is a lot of management books and stories about that. Politics is doing business, and this is business. That means he needs to be smart. He will not be in the seat, but he will gain. He will try again. He will not take it. That means he should have a kind of agreement or discussion that I will step down and I'll give you maybe 6 or 5 votes. I'm sure that they will support you because they are loyal to me or whatever. And then I'll have a seat in the FIFA after that. This is the only way that he can. Then he will take a step. Blatter himself was not he didn't jump as a president.
Who would be able to occupy the presidency seat of FIFA? I mean, this one who is going to be backed by a country, I mean politics, or by mega companies like those international ones, sponsors, or organizations like UEFA, for instance, if they are going to back Platini, or those inside FIFA itself? I mean, the officials and the assembly of FIFA itself. Who is going to win, and depending on what?
I'm sorry to say that, but it's a fact. Money talks. At the end of the day, the people who's controlling the money, they will do that. At the end of the day, why I should give my vote to you? You should give me something. It's not a written confirmation, but it's an agreement, because you will be in the same seat again. That's mean, okay, we can
a word of honor, you mean?
Exactly, because they will remember. Now we'll give you a vote, and if you didn't achieve what we agreed on.
Why this is taking place in an organization like FIFA, but we have never heard something like that regarding the IOC, for instance. Jack Rogge, Doctor and the Knight and Sir Jack Rogge, and then Thomas Bach, you are talking about the elite, or la crème de la crème when it comes to football, when it comes to sports, I'm sorry. But when it comes to football, despite the fact that it's the most popular game, you would find corruption just sneaking into the details of the structure of this body. I can't understand why.
When we're talking about profit, and when we're talking about, again, FIFA, they're saying it should be a non-profitable organization, but it is a profitable organization. He was proud, he's saying, I saved, I think I have in my books $1 billion for FIFA, and he was proud of that, because at the end of the day, you are proud of that, it's not profitable. If we're talking about non-profitable organization, yes, but now it's profitable. We're talking about sponsor, we're talking about playground, investment.
Rights of broadcasting.
Exactly, and you see him now he's doing that role. That's mean.
By the way, we are watching a 79-year-old guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's mean it's not just in football. Before it was in hobby people playing to make people happy. No, it's now we're talking about money. You can imagine how much of the players even now compared with the past. That's mean money will talk. I can say the sponsor will play a role. The agreement will play a role. The powerful people will play a role, and again, I hope that Platini don't go in corruption, but I hope that he keeping it clean with less promises to win FIFA. Now the road is open to him, and for us, we should, Amir Ali should think differently this way, because I don't think he will have the same votes he take before. He had a lot of votes from Europe, but Europe will give the vote to one of them.
It was 73 or 77 to 133.
Yeah, that's true.
Votes.
That's true. That's true. That means he should think different. He should think differently. Returning back to the point you shared, I think it will reflect in Africa as well. Coming when Issa Hayatou before with support from him. In the early days, there's a kind of fight between Platter and Issa Hayatou. In the early days, but nowadays they're close. Maybe the next time there is a people who will be against Issa Hayatou himself in Africa election. We don't know what will happen. Maybe there is a surprise.
I'm sorry to say that, but every time something is revealed as if it was a gang, not an international organization, and each of those officials was responsible for a special part of the world. I mean, this executive was responsible for the CONCACAF issues, for Copa Sudamericana, for the Latin Americans, for example.
That's true.
And this one for the Africans, the other for the Asians, something like that, as if it's the cake, and it was very much, and I mean, equally distributed among them.
You're exactly right, because
how this was an international organization and it should be a respectable one.
Because it's running by corruption.
It's really amazing to find that there are governments included into this and involved into this. And I should say that Ali Din Hilal, who was responsible for the Ministry of Sports in Egypt, while this zero of Mondial, or this scandal which we had, it was how many years ago?
Maybe 7.
No, about 15 years.
15 years, yes, it's 2000 years.
2000s. And he said that I delivered the message to the government by then that if we were to pay bribery or to pay millions of dollars, we are going to take it.
That's true.
I mean, that's true. This is a shame.
It's a shame, but at the end of the day, to be honest, when we go to the business language, we can say it's 100% ethical or clean. Even I can say in one of the biggest companies now, they have a corruption case in U.S. It's in one of the companies, and there is names of ministers in Egypt.
May I ask a very naive question?
Sure.
Does FIFA have a code of ethics?
They have a lot of ethics and code of ethics and agreement and everything. But the challenge that when you know the law, you can play with it. This is the most important point. Platter and Platter teams, they know the law. They know what's going on. They know what they signed already. That's mean they know how they can break it. And sometimes you customize the law based on your needs and based on your objective. This is the most critical if you're a decision maker.
I am going to take your expectations on the coming future of FIFA after all this analysis and the scandals which hit the governing body, but right after a break with such an Egyptian figure, Atiyah Sha'lan, Kevin Livron, one of the big names in the world of bodybuilding. He was here in Egypt and he was received by our Egyptian champion. And I think that there would be a contract between both, as Livron is going to coach Atiyah Sha'lan. We hope that this is going to be for the best interest of our hero. Stay tuned, and we're going to be back with only a few minutes. And after this, we are going to say once again, Happy Eid.
We are here with Mr. Kevin Livroni, the Maryland Muscle Machine. I will tell you just a little bit about Mr. Kevin Livroni so he can continue and tell you about his matches, what he did in bodybuilding. All the people here, they know about Mr. Kevin Livroni. He's the best from the best from the best from the bodybuilder come to the life ever. Asymmetry, big muscle. So Mr. Kevin Livroni, he won 1990 overall in World Championship, the same title like what I won last year. And after this, he competed in New York Brew, first place. After this, he go to Mr. Olympia. He won second place after Mr. Dorian Yates. So Mr. Kevin Livroni, he will tell us about his competition, what he won in his sports. So we know more and more and more about him.
I've always, well, first of all, Tia, thank you for that great introduction. It's always good to be, well, this is my first time to Egypt. And I just want to say, you know, it's a beautiful place with beautiful people. And it's an honor to be here. So thank you very much, first of all. I've always believed as a child growing up that, you know, you can be anything in life that you want to be as long as you believe in yourself, trust in God, and always do the right things, and then good things will come to you. You know, I've competed 68 times in the IFBB, and I went on to win 23 first place IFBB shows, 18 second place IFBB competitions, and today I ended up with the best history, the best record, professional bodybuilding, IFBB record in professional bodybuilding history. So for me, that's a great honor. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you see, I will surprise you and tell you something. Too much people, they don't know about it, that he won overall in World Championship when he was 23 years old. And in the second year, he won New York Brew first place, and in the same year, he won second place in Mr. Olympia, the biggest match, the biggest show ever in bodybuilding ever. So he come after Mr. Dorian Yates. So Mr. Kevin Livron, you watch a little bit from Cairo and Egypt. So what about what you see? Are you believe now about what I told you before you come?
Yeah. I mean, you know, so much of what we see back in America on the American news and the channels and the media you know, these things will really distort someone's mind, you know. I come here to Egypt, and I just cannot believe how beautiful the people are, the love that they have for one another, the respect that each man have for one another. You know, and these are the things that, you know, the American news, they don't show us, you know. So, you know, unless, I always say, don't judge anyone or anything unless you've actually know that person, or if you sat down at that person's dinner table, or you spent time with that person. So, you know what, man, I'm blown away, and I can't wait to get back to the States just to let everyone know how beautiful Egypt is and the people here.
Welcome back. I'm in love with those Egyptian figures who started from scratch and they reached the top of their hobby, which became their professionality after that, but they did it. And I think that whenever my slogan is I can, then I can. This, of course, was Ataya Sha'lan, and I was honored to have him as a guest here in a previous episode of the Score Sheet.
I just have a comment here,
Yeah.
You just showed us two extremely nice stories to share. But my comment, it's individual cases.
Yeah.
They're doing their achievement on individual base. Like I train myself, I try to bring a coach. I think as a country we should play a role in that.
Tell you something, when it comes to Ataya Sha'lan in specific, and when it comes to the Egyptian Federation of Bodybuilding, Engineer Adel Fahim is doing great, and he is taking care of all of them, not Ataya in specific. And by the way, he is the president not only of the Egyptian Federation, but of the African and the Arab ones. He is also the vice president of the International Union of Bodybuilding, and he was awarded as the best administrative figure by Japan this year. So
that means if we are doing that, it will be extremely nice.
Of course. And amen to that. When we do have a champion, we should take care of him. Karam Gabber, the wrestler, is one of the best cases we can have as an example. If you do not take care of your player, he is going to be lost.
That's true. That's true. The issue here is that to provide the fund to those people is while you are providing to them a kind of, I can say, sports, it could be actually a management for them also. Those type of players, they go to a lot of countries to make a kind of show, and there's a lot of fans, they bring money because this supports their business at the end of the day. It's kind of marketing to them. Sometimes it's one-time event.
I'm sorry for this fly.
No, sometimes it's one-time event, but it make it's positive impact because at the end of the day, those people when they go there, they find a lot of them. They go to the Middle East.
We do have only 2 minutes, and we promise our viewers that we are going to continue with your expectations about FIFA. What's going to happen from an expert point of view?
Coming time for Hayatou will be a challenge. It will not be easy because there's a lot of people who will try to take the seat. There's a lot of issues will appear regarding CAF itself with evidence that there's a kind of corruption inside it.
Wow.
I'm sure of that. It's not a kind of a person who's expecting what will happen in the future. Just the facts will appear. The only thing that now, what I say is that Platter himself have a kind of agreement. I can say that. I will resign.
The safe exit.
Exactly, the safe exit. No one will follow me. Whatever you do with my team, I don't care. Put them in jail, I don't care. But myself, I'll be out of the game and keep me safe. I think this is the agreement because why this very strong person, I can say the head of FIFA Mafia, resign. It's not an easy...
FIFA Republic.
That's true.
Well, We are running out of time.
Yes.
Thank you very
Thanks
much
a lot.
for being with us. Happy Eid, Mohammed.
Thanks a lot. Wish all our viewers and happy Eid, and thanks a lot for
and
this live show.
And let me join you in this.
Thanks a lot.
To all our dear viewers, on behalf of Dr. Muhammad Rabi, Amr Fathallah, myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman, many thanks for watching. Happy Eid. And I'm going to end all my episodes with peace be upon you, or Assalamu alaikum.